And thank you so much for joining us today. We are having a special career focus episode of the Frog for Life podcast, and we are joined by TCU career coach Terrence Hood. Terrence Hood, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, Rob, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure. I'm glad to be here.
Well, obviously, in the world today, all alumni want to know. I have career questions. I'm either trying to change my career, I want to get a new career, I want to make more money, I want to learn how to make connections all over the country, and I don't know how to do it. So Terrence, this is why we have you here today to answer all the questions about all things career focused. And the first question I have is, what are some trends you're seeing just kind of in general in the job market that kind of people can use as a baseline?
Absolutely. I would say there are a couple of trends that come to mind immediately. The first one is just this idea of being on LinkedIn. Lots of my appointments that I have with alums who are doing a job search, we're seeing, oh, I'm applying for positions, but I'm not hearing back. I'm submitting my resume, but I'm not hearing back. So the idea of not hearing back has been echoing throughout the last 6 months, year. So what we recommend typically is to be on LinkedIn. And sometimes alumni are on LinkedIn, but they're not leveraging LinkedIn. So we're recommending be on LinkedIn. 93% of recruiters are utilizing LinkedIn. So if you're looking for a job or a career change, now it's no longer could I use LinkedIn? You have to be. It's a must-have. You have to be visible on on your profile. You have to be engaging with employers. You have to have a fully complete profile. And hopefully during the context of our conversation, we'll give more specific tips for that. But biggest trend we're seeing is lots of folks are applying. It's very competitive. I submitted my resume, not hearing back. So people are trying to network their way in, and that's a possibility. But LinkedIn is the number one advice that we recommend being on the platform and leveraging it. And hopefully, we'll have a chance to delve into more details regarding LinkedIn.
Yeah, absolutely. That was one of my follow-ups when you mentioned that was, you said people, just, I create a LinkedIn profile. I might have some very basic information about myself, but what are some common mistakes that job seekers make? They think they just have a LinkedIn profile and that's enough. So what's some common mistakes about their LinkedIn profile that might be hurting their chances that they don't know about?
I would say there are two things, Rob. First thing I would say is having keywords. So nowadays, employers have an applicant tracking system where if you submit a resume, it has to have keywords from the job description that match, or you won't make it past the applicant tracking system and onto an actual person. Long gone are the days where when I first started this gig, I was emailing resumes. I literally was using a fax machine to fax resumes. So now that's all done. So now, is the resume enough? Nowadays, it could be enough, but if you're not getting those calls back, what can you do? So I would say for those alums who are trying to get the foot in the door on LinkedIn, first of all, basics having a professional headshot. Now, if you don't have a professional headshot, and if you're in the DFW area, the Career Center does have a brand new Iris photo booth where you can come in anytime we're open. We're in the Harrison building, the new administration building next to McDonald's on Berry Street. You can walk in, there's no appointment necessary, and get up to 3 or 4 headshots for your LinkedIn. That said, everybody can't come to our office. We understand that. Even if it's a professional looking headshot, someone take a picture of you or behind a neutral wall, anything from here up where you're smiling, that's the first impression. So having a headshot and also having a about section, talk about your skills, your interests, then the education section. So if you have a resume, you don't have to literally make up your profile, just copy and paste your resume, copy and paste your experience, copy and paste your skills, but add skills in the context of experience. So if you have a job as an administrative assistant, put the duties in there. But now employees want to see skills in the context of experience. So add your bullet points for your administrative assistant role and add skills you gain. So they don't not just see your skills, but they see where those skills were utilized.
Okay. And what are some key profile updates that job seekers need to make to stand out besides just their basic skills and experience?
Yeah, Rob. One thing that I don't think people know much about is you can actually go onto LinkedIn and you can request a recommendation.
Hmm.
So if you go to LinkedIn, And there's a section that says add profile section. I'm happy to share on my screen if it's helpful. Just go to add profile section and look for recommended. And you can literally reach out to anyone in your network to recommend you, and that goes on your profile. So if you're trying to get recommendations on various skills, why not get or what do you call it, a rating, or go to Google, go to a restaurant. I'm gonna look for reviews. Yeah, that's the word. It's kind of a review of your skills from someone who knows your ins and outs and what makes you tick. So I recommend get a recommendation. Add visual evidence. That's a session called featured. Or if you have any certificates or projects or things that you're proud of, honors, workshops, add feature. You can add visual certificates of completion. Here's a IT project. Here's a expense report that I created. Now LinkedIn gives you the ability to make LinkedIn sort of a virtual portfolio as well.
Oh wow! So you don't need I know some people make their own separate website, but you're saying you can put all your work experience and portfolio right onto LinkedIn.
Absolutely. Now it's more of an e-portfolio platform. So if you're going into a creative field or marketing or finance, you can use it's called featured. Go to add profile section and click on featured. If anyone want to connect with me on LinkedIn or look at my profile as an example, I've been on LinkedIn since 2008. So I got a lot of stuff I've collected over the years, but feel free to kind of, I call it using kind of OPP, other people's profiles. So if there's some people in your industry that you want to kind of model from, why not? You're not copying and pasting per se, but use it to gain some ideas. But I would say get recommendations and then add visual evidence and visual examples of your work to the feature section.
Oh, great. How can job seekers make sure that their LinkedIn profile, because everyone's taking Terrence's tips, how do you make sure that your profile is the one that gets noticed in such a crowded market?
Rob, it's a great question. LinkedIn has a feature on their platform called Open to Work. So if you're open to work, you can go to your profile and click Open to Work. And now it gives you a chance to put in job titles. Now, what people don't often know about is that I want to be a marketing, just say marketing, for example. Some just do marketing and they stop. But we actually heard from a recruiter who was on campus recently inside Global. They did a workshop for some of our communication classes. And they said, when we go to LinkedIn, we look for job seekers in Fort Worth, like marketing. The last time I did a search for that, like over 4 million people showed up just for that, job seekers, Fort Worth, marketing. But what the recruiter said was that she's a recruiter who does searches. He said, when you go to your profile, go to open to work, where it says job titles, put as many variations of that title as you can.
Okay.
Marketing manager, marketing specialist, marketing agent, because this company may want a marketing agent. But if they don't see that,
Oh, yes.
it won't resonate. So any variation of your, and LinkedIn does give you ideas. So if you go to marketing, it'll give you a list
Okay.
of possible jobs. So click on everything that you would like to apply for so you will be seen when the employers are searching.
And as people apply to these jobs on LinkedIn, you said many people apply and never hear back. You talked about the applicant tracking system. What is that? How can people make sure that they actually hear back, from when the applicant tracking system is reviewing their resume and they actually get that call back?
Great question, Rob. So I would say as people are using their job descriptions as a guide, so some people have a general resume and custom resumes. So when you customize your resume, use the job description as a guide. So look at the skills they're asking for. And quite frankly, we're all in this age of chat GPT and AI. So we're seeing that people are using chat GPT for research. So they might say, what are the top 10 skills for this job description?
Mhm.
Copy and paste the job description, get a prompt response. Next one, how can I make my resume stand out for this position? Get some ideas. So the idea is to use ChatGPT. If you are comfortable with using ChatGPT, use it for research. Get some ideas. So you don't want to copy and paste exactly because employers can tell when you're doing that. So don't copy blocks and chunk it over to your resume, but get some ideas. Hey, oh, maybe I could move this around a bit or add some good action verbs. But the more keywords you embed in your resume, with examples,
Hmm.
with results. So if you don't have results, you only have job descriptions, that is not going to be impactful. So don't focus on the job description, focus on what you actually did,
Okay.
what you achieved, that you improved something, that you enhanced something, how much, how many, how often, by 40% over 6 months. Employers really love that data, and the AI ATS picks up on that. Oh, he has this scale, plus he has an example. So don't focus just on the scales, try to focus on examples and results as well.
Okay. And one thing on LinkedIn, and this kind of goes into the importance of that people hear about cover letters, is there's this thing on LinkedIn called Easy Apply, and a lot of people see a job, they hit Easy Apply, and that's it. Talk about that approach. Is that just like a shot in the dark? Is that something you would advise people to do, or how do they follow up that Easy Apply step with supplemental information like a cover letter?
That's a great question, Rob. I'll give you an example of that. Well, first of all, for the easy apply, it is a strategy, but like you said, I think it's kind of a shot in the dark, honestly, because there's no people interaction there. And the example I wanted to share was we had an employer who actually one of our career consultants took a site visit to an agency called Golan. It was with the Bob Schieffer College, and there were a couple of alumni, recent grads on the panel. And one of the recent grads said, I want to work in Golan. And so she actually reached out on LinkedIn to 5 people who worked at Golan.
Hmm.
She reached out. She said, hey, I would love to connect with you for a coffee. I'm wanting to apply to Golan. I would love to learn from you about your experience. She didn't hit submit the application until she connected and engaged with 5 people.
Hmm.
At the end of the panel, they said she was told that's why she got that position. She was intentional. She reached out with 5 people and had coffee chats with most of them. And so by the time she applied, her name was already in the room with at least 5 people.
Oh,
So,
wow.
so it's the idea of people sometimes apply without the people connection. But how about doing that first? How about reaching out to folks before you need it instead of when you need it?
Okay, and so then when say they may not know how to find people, and there's the art of the cover letter, maybe, and maybe there is a hiring manager, maybe there's not. How do you suppose that they go about making a good cover letter and it be different than just reading your resume?
That's a good question, Ron. I think for cover letters, and now this is very subjective, are cover letters relevant? Actually, we had a speaker on campus, Dr. Jared Cobb. He's actually on the board of visitors for the College of Education, TCU alum, and he's VP of programs at Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Tarrant County, very engaged in the hiring process. And he shared with the class, actually this past Friday, did a class visit and said, if I get 150 resumes, he's looking for the ones who have a cover letter.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's a small number. 25 have a cover letter. So he's going to go right to the ones who took the time to write a custom cover letter to Boys and Girls Clubs.
Mhm.
And the cover letter just said, what am I looking for? He said, why? Why our company? There's not a why section on a resume. There's not a passionate section on a resume. So the cover letter gives you more room to explain. Again, explain what? Why this company? How'd you find us? Oh, I found this on TCU's Handshake, or I found this on LinkedIn. But I was referred to apply to you by someone that works there. Had a recent coffee chat with someone. So you have all this different hidden context you can put into a cover letter and examples of your skills, um, specific examples of projects or outcomes or results. So, like you said, you don't want to repeat your resume because they can see the what,
Mhm.
but your cover letter should be focused more on the why.
That's great. And I know a great resource for cover letters and LinkedIn and resumes is the TCU Career Center. So, Terrence, can you give us a quick run? We'll get it more in depth into the different stuff you provide, but can you give us a quick rundown of the kinds of resources the TCU Career Center offers?
Of course, Rob, my pleasure. Well, we do offer a very popular service, resume and cover letter development. And so we even have sample resumes for alumni on our Career Center website, careers.tcu.edu/alumni. So if alumni want to get a jump start and look at some resumes in advance. We have guides, FAQs for alumni. We have cover letter examples on our website as well. Of course, job search strategies, LinkedIn profile reviews, networking strategies, and we have Horned Frogs Connect in case alumni aren't aware. HornedFrogsConnect.com is our global alumni networking platform to connect for your career development or career exploration. We offer help with job interviews, so interview practice, whether it's for graduate school or a part-time or a full-time career opportunity. Alumni can make appointments with me for mock interviews, and we have a platform called Big Interview, BIG, Big Interview, for alumni to log in and practice, learn about common questions. So they can't come to us. We're all closed. It's weekends, evenings. Alumni have access to tcualumni.biginterview.com, and they can log in anytime and look up questions about industry or questions about salary negotiations or unethical questions or I'm just getting started. Top 10 questions, easy questions, difficult questions, challenging questions. So you have the full gamut of practice, but it's all based on what they're looking for. We do help with career exploration. So we have assessments available for alums who might be thinking about a career change. We have one that's called Focus 2, which we just launched about a year and a half ago. It's all self-paced. You can log into the Career Center website, access Focus 2, and we have 5 assessments that are available. They can take one for interests, one for personality type, one for skills, one for interests, one for values. So whatever you're feeling, oh, I want to focus on my interests or my skills, and you can take 2 or 3 and combine results.
Hmm.
Hey, what are some careers that are based on my interests, skills, and values,
Yes.
or skills and leisure? So it's really self-guided. You get your results automatically, so you don't take it and then wait for us to give you the results. As soon as you finish the assessment, you can access results instantaneously. If you have questions about your results, you can make an appointment with me on Handshake. And we have webinars for alumni with Hallie Crawford. We do webinars twice a semester at least. And those webinars can be found on Horned Frogs Connect under the resources section for those who want to see what we've been sharing. We have a new platform called Forage, 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 which is for any alums who need to gain experience or skills. And it's really just short-term projects that you can look for by industry, so real estate, sales, marketing, and find virtual short-term projects that employees are sharing for alums that want to gain that experience.
Wow, this is absolutely fantastic. So of course you told us about you can to recap, you can get your headshot, you can get resume advice, you can get career, cover letter advice, you can get career assessments, you can get one-on-one consultations. Terrence, I'm assuming this comes at like $1,000 cost.
Well, actually, all this stuff it's a lot of services, but alumni have access to all this at no cost.
At no cost, you're getting career advice for completely free for any alumni of any age, correct?
Any age, any background, any major. So I literally have all majors. So if you have questions, they can email me directly, make appointments on Handshake, but it's for all alums, all class years, all backgrounds. So no cost, and the services are available for life.
And you do in-person and virtual meetings, correct?
That's correct. We do in-person meetings. I'm located in the new Harrison building, was newish, been around for 5 years or so. Harrison building, which is on Berry Street next to McDonald's. We're in Suite 1100. That's also where our photo booth is located as well. But I do take virtual appointments. I even have alums who talk to me on the phone. Some just go old school. As I want to just kind of call you. Yes, you can call me. My main number. I'm happy to connect virtual, in person, or by phone.
I want to go a little bit into one of the tools you talked about at the end there about because one of the big things you hear about is career change. You talked about this program called Forage. Can you go a little bit about that for someone that's trying to make a career change? What does this platform provide, or someone that's trying to get experience? Kind of give us a little bit of insight into that.
Where's Ron? Would it be possible to share my screen by any chance?
Yeah, I believe you can. It says you should be able to. If,
Yay. Well, perfect. Let me just go on and share my screen if that's okay.
yes.
Let's add a little visual here. Oops. Let me try it again. All right, Rob, let me know
Yeah,
if you can see my screen here.
I can.
All right, yay. So everything is located on our Career Center website. Let me go to the main website. It's careers.tcu.edu.
Mhm.
And the easiest way to access Forage is come down here to where it says Access Tools to Prepare for Your Career.
Okay.
And then actually, I mentioned Focus 2. You can access it right here.
Okay. Yep.
Big interview. You can access it right here.
Okay.
And that Forge is right in the middle.
All right.
And this is all projects, but I'll give a little bit of context here. So we launched this, I think, a year and a half ago, close to 2 years ago. So this is for any current student or alumni that wants to gain experience. So let's say I'm trying to find a job and I need experience in IT. I
Hmm.
just had an alum who's been doing some interviews. They just don't have that particular experience.
Yep.
So Forage allows you to log in, and you can actually come down here and do a little bit of a browse.
Okay.
So major employers like PepsiCo, Lululemon, Bank of America are posting 2 3 hour projects, 3 hour projects. So this is not like a long semester long internship. It's
Yeah.
short term project based job simulation. So
Okay.
it's actual work that they would be doing, like in sales or engineering, for example.
Oh, wow.
And so I'll just come up here. They can come up here to explore. And here's just a little bit of a sample of the energy. I'll just go to view all here.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can come and focus on your career interest.
Oh, wow. That's neat.
Yeah. So we have design, engineering, entrepreneurship. We have HR, insurance, real estate. We have sales, engineering. So for the purposes of this, I'll just do human resources here. We have GE Aerospace who's posted a project 3 or 4 hours, and that really means it's really self-paced. So you could do it in 3 or 4 hours flat, but you don't have to. You can divide it up. It's all self-paced, all self-directed here. So I'll just open up this particular project. Yeah, it's got actual reviews from people who have also done the project.
Oh,
This is
wow.
no cost. Yeah, and it gives you a little bit more background. Again, all self-paced, and the skills you will learn and practice on the side as well.
Oh,
It's all self-guided projects. And you're also networking with GE Aerospace. So if you wanted to find a job there, these are recruiters and HR folks who are posting these projects. So you're getting visibility and you're getting exposure and you're gaining skills and you're gaining experience. And we even have a video from the HR manager about this particular project to learn more.
and is there any guidance on these projects if someone's just trying to start out and they think they know and then they get into it, they're like, I have no idea what I'm looking at.
I believe it's all coordinated through the employer.
Okay.
So once they begin their project, my understanding is that they can reach out to the employer if they have questions. But
Okay.
again, once they start, they have full support of the employer that's providing the project.
That's fantastic. Is this a national platform or did this TCU individually come up with these companies or how did all this come about?
Well, one of my colleagues, Celeste Lindell, who's one of our assistant directors, collaborated with this organization. I believe they have platforms at other schools, and TCU happens to be one that is took advantage of it. So we're just so thrilled that all this is brought at no cost. And once they complete these projects, they can possibly add this to the LinkedIn profile, possibly the resume. So
Yeah.
you want to complete these, but then how do you market those? How do I market this in an interview? Well, how do I add this to my LinkedIn? So that's where we will come in after the project is completed. They can meet with me or email me. We can give them some tips and language for their LinkedIn profiles as well.
And you talked about you can network through Forage and LinkedIn is a important networking tool, but what are some other networking strategies and tools that alumni can use to make meaningful connections and help them find that new job?
Absolutely, Rob. If it's okay with you, I'd like to go over to Handshake
Absolutely.
because, again, something I think many alums don't know about. So if you go to Handshake and alumni have access to Handshake, this is our job posting platform.
Mhm.
Um, you can make an appointment with me. You can see upcoming events, but I'm going to actually go to the job search feature. And
Okay.
again, just like LinkedIn, I recommend alumni have a fully complete profile as foundational things because if employers come to your profile, I have my profile picture on here, just like LinkedIn.
Mhm.
It kind of reminds you of LinkedIn, but you're not engaging with content like on LinkedIn. This is strictly job searching.
Mhm.
So make sure that your profile is fully complete. This actually is a mock alumni. This isn't a real alumni profile. This just to kind of give me alumni kind of as an alum access,
Yep.
basically. But if you go to, so first point is make sure that you have a fully complete profile. So they don't think you're a robot, which we know you're not. So if you go to the jobs tab on the left over here, and these are, again, Handshake is part-time, full-time, but for our alums who have already graduated, might be looking for more full-time, but we also have part-time on here as well. If
Okay.
you go to the jobs feature, you're going to come over here to all filters, and we have over 23,000 jobs posted already on Handshake.
Wow.
And that's for all industries, all majors. But if you go to the all filters over here, and you can start to filter based on your preference. So I'll go to full time.
Mhm.
That narrows it down. I'm assuming they want them to be paid, so they can do that. I think yeah, most of them are paid, but hey, let's just do paid too.
Yeah.
Yeah, about the same number as well. Yep, you can even do minimum salaries on here, so it's a lot of cool features you can customize. You can
Okay.
filter by type of job, on-site, remote. But I'm coming down. This is what I want to kind of hang my nail on:
Mhm.
employer contacts. So employer is open to messaging. So if you click on this, and the purpose of this is employers are now saying, hey, I want y'all to reach out to us.
Okay.
Now, for a cover letter, who might I address my cover letter to? That's kind of sometimes a mystery. But
Yeah.
now, and let me just hit show results here, Ref. And you can also come down and filter by job role, by industry. I'll just do nonprofit for this demonstration here.
Okay.
So 311 jobs found. So I'll just go to show results. And I use the employer open to messaging. So I'm going to come down and look for the employer, and here she is.
Okay.
Ask Taylor. So any questions about the hiring process, you might want to message Taylor. It's Taylor Willis. She's executive director. So you can come right here and do a message to Taylor like, hello, my name is Terrence Hood. I'm a TCU alum. Just applied to your account manager position. Would love to connect to learn more about your experience. We'll learn more about what the job entails. So
Mhm.
now you have an invitation with a specific person to,
Okay.
again, engage with them kind of before you need it. So maybe you haven't applied. I just want to make a connection. Now you have the opportunity, or I have already applied. I want to just make sure I know who I'm following up with. Could I
Yeah.
arrange a brief Zoom call? Or I see that you're local. Would love to meet you for coffee. So it's just the idea of engaging for networking before you need it
Mhm.
and when you need it. Up to you. But again, just be intentional. But now Handshake's made it super easy to connect with employers who want to connect with you.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic. And so then they would email you back on your handshake platform, I assume.
Yeah, absolutely, Rob. If
Okay.
alums want to make an appointment with me, it's really simple. They can come and they go to the main page here. This is their main page when the alumni log in.
Mhm.
And again, the more alumni are on Handshake, I've saved some jobs. And some alumni don't know this, but you can actually, if there's something, I don't want to see customer service jobs or whatever, this little X here says hide job.
Okay.
So oh, I don't like what I'm seeing. Now it does, algorithm is based on your activity. So if
Oh,
you're
wow.
looking for customer service jobs, it's going to probably show you customer service job. If
Okay.
you're looking for sales jobs, it's going to show you sales. But let's say, why am I seeing this writer position here? You literally can just click here and hide it, and we won't show you this job again.
Oh, wow.
Or I can save this. So
Yeah.
I like this. I'll come back to it later. Then up here's your saved searches.
So what's similar if people are familiar with Indeed? It looks like a very similar platform to that.
basically. Very similar. What makes us different is we are aware of these employers and we vet these jobs carefully through
Okay,
Handshake. And
good.
so we have employers that post and we even have relationships with these employers. So we might be able to refer an alum to a
Yeah,
company. I actually just referred an alum to Northwestern Mutual alumni. She's actually graduated. She's a former athlete and
yeah,
she wanted a job in finance. So I said, I know Amber at Northwestern Mutual. And I connected them about 2 weeks ago. They had a
okay.
virtual conversation. And Amber just messaged me over the weekend saying she's passing all the things with flying colors and we're about to make her a job offer.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Relationships are everything.
They are. And so there are people that I'm sure maybe they finally do get past the barrier and they are asked to do an interview and they get real nervous in front of people and they just say, I'm not good, Terrence, to interview. What would be some advice you would give them for interviews and how can TCU help them with that?
Absolutely. I would definitely recommend for interviews, I think we say practice makes progress. So, and also when it comes to being nervous, you don't always have to feel confident to be confident.
Hmm?
So with that practice, build your confidence, but nerves may not always go away. But when you make a mock interview appointment with me, we'll talk about, what type of position, or I just want some general practice to get some answers out. I have it in my head. I need to get it out. So not perfect answer. Let's focus on progress. Meet with me. Let's do a mock interview. You may want to work on having your examples. So, what is the job asking for? What skills? And then having just good examples and good stories because employers care about the evidence, whether it's on LinkedIn, whether you have it on your resume. You want to have good signature stories with outcomes, results, and then go full circle. How does this relate back? So research is key. You can't market effectively if you don't know the audience. So what skills? Oh, where's the mission? And how can I relate my examples back to who they are and back to that why? You can't really put why on a resume. You can put it on a cover letter, but that's the most important part of the interview is knowing you've done your homework, research, and then dress appropriately. All those things are important as well. But above all else, just having good stories and good examples that speak to the job and the company.
Okay. Well, Terrence, you've shown us Forage and Handshake and briefly the TCU Career website. Is there any other resources you'd like to share with us before we let you go?
Sure, Rob, absolutely. I just wanted to share quickly. I think I was on the Career Center website. Just wanted to share that we do have an alumni, and I'll also go back. I think I forgot to show them how to make an appointment, Rob. I'll go back and show them that. I got ahead of myself a little bit. Um, so if you go to careers.tcu.edu and they click on alumni right here at the top,
Mhm.
here's my mug again. I'm all over the website. My old headshot on there when I had hair. So they're going to come down here, and then there's all of our services. How to register for Handshake. If alumni does not have a Handshake profile, it gives you steps on how to establish that Handshake account. That's the quickest way to make an appointment with me. Some want to email me, but sometimes it's back and forth, and my calendar is on
Mhm.
and off. So the quickest way to make an appointment with me is through Handshake, and the website's tcu.joinhandshake.com. And if you don't want an appointment, you can come here and ask me a quick question.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't need an appointment. I just have questions about, resume or graduate school or salary negotiation. So now sometimes that might warrant another appointment. I don't want to send like a full paragraph, but it could be I just have a quick question about my resume or a quick question about a cover letter. Alumni, I'm more than welcome to use this feature and or make an appointment.
Oh. Well, this is wonderful, Terrence. Before we go, are there any last tips you would provide alumni that are still trying to figure out exactly how do they get into that job of their dreams?
Sure, Rob. Hey, Rob, if it's okay, would you mind if I show them how to make an appointment on Handshake?
Yes, absolutely.
I think I got ahead of myself a bit. One
Oh,
to
you're fine.
make sure I show them that in case they're not aware.
Okay.
Let me go back to where I was. Hopefully, yeah, back to where I was. So when they log into Handshake, and when alumni set up a new account on Handshake, they go into a pending status. So I have to verify that
Okay.
they're Action alum because unfortunately we have like scammers, folks who try to use our platform.
Oh. Okay.
So it's unfortunate, but it doesn't take long. We take like 1 or 2 business days, and I'll just go to Addy, your platform,
Yeah.
and just make sure that they graduate. It takes me all of 10 seconds, and yes, you get approved, but it may be about a 1, 2 day wait time
Okay.
if you're registering for a new account. So not a long time. I typically do it within a day. But if you did not graduate from TCU, we cannot give you access to Handshake. It's only for TCU current students or alumni.
Okay.
Yeah, so to make an appointment here, really easy. Go to Career Center, and I'm alum on this profile here. Yeah, and just come over here to appointments. And we do have events here that are coming up. So you'll see all of our coming events. All of our events are open to alumni.
Okay.
So they'll see career events. They can also go to our events tab and see career fairs, networking nights. Anything they see on Handshake is open to alums to attend as well. So they're going to come to Career Center first and go to appointments. Yeah, and then they come right here to schedule a new appointment and just click TCU Alumni. And here's a little bit of a list of all of our appointment types.
Oh, wow.
So whatever you're needing, if it's LinkedIn, job search, we do help with graduate school. So if you're doing a personal statement for graduate school, want us to review your resume for a graduate program, that's a part of our free services as well. So let's go to job search alumni here. And you have access to my calendar.
Oh, wow.
So our next availability is tomorrow at 2:30. I'll click that. And then here's where you mentioned Zoom in person or phone.
Okay.
Yes, I want to do a Zoom meeting. We have alumni all over the world, so Zoom is a feasible option for many. But if you're local, want to come visit us in person, you're more than welcome to. But we also have Zoom meetings as well. And I need help. I hope it's not that big. I'm just kind of joking around. But please be specific. Help with resume or help with job searching for sales. So be as specific as you can. And then when you're done, just hit request, and that's it.
All right.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do this because it's a mock appointment, but you can email saying, hey, you've made an appointment. You get a reminder from Handshake as well.
Okay.
If you need to cancel the appointment, just go right back to where you just came. Career Center appointments, you can cancel, reschedule, all virtually anytime.
Okay.
Yeah, and
And
that's how.
Terrence, if there's someone that's waiting to get that account approved and they just want to email you, what is your email? The best way to contact you for questions?
Absolutely, Rob. My email is T as in Tom .hood, HOOD, at tcu.edu.
Well, there you go. And there is all the career advice, resources, and strategies you will need to get your next career. And Terrence and his team will definitely lead you on the right way to go.
Absolutely. Look forward to helping all of our alums across the world, and go frogs.